Continuing down our aisles and through the narthex, and then re-entering the nave via the north aisle, is our large oak-framed Crucifix Shrine with an ebony cross. The corpse is made of linden wood and is mounted on a base of red Levanto marble. This devotional space is devoutly used almost every day of the year as the faithful come and offer their prayers and concerns. Now let's talk about what a crucifix is, and then let's also talk about what a cross is. So, the cross is perhaps the most famous and widespread symbol in Christianity. It is used in Christian gatherings and messages. In Roman times, the cross was an instrument of torture and public humiliation. It is the equivalent of today's death penalty, in that hardened criminals were put to death by crucifixion. In the Catholic faith, the crucifix is a very common symbol, which is a cross with the figure of Jesus Christ attached to it. It often has the word INRI written across the top. These letters are a shortened version of a phrase that translates to Jesus of Nazareth, King of the Jews. These were the words that Pontius Pilate, the Roman governor of Judea, ordered to have written on the cross upon which Jesus was crucified. The crucifix is derived from the Latin word crucifixus, which means fixed to the cross. It thus refers to an image of Jesus fixed to a cross, which is distant from a plain cross. The image of Jesus on the cross is referred to as the corpus, which is the Latin word for body. The crucifix as a sacramental. According to the Catholic Catechism, the crucifix is a sacramental or a sacred symbol that the Church instituted to prepare Catholics to receive God's grace. A sacramental finds its power in the Paschal mystery, which is at the heart of the Catholic faith. The Paschal mystery is closely tied to the history of salvation and is centered on the mission of Jesus Christ on earth, which is his passion, death, and eventual resurrection. Many Catholics gaze reverently upon the crucifix while praying in order to remember Jesus' great sacrifice and evoke feelings of love, trust, faith, and devotion. With the crucifix, we are reminded of the Lord's promise of salvation and grace, which we can receive by turning to him. We would not have the gift of salvation without Christ's crucifixion, and we would not have the miracle of resurrection if Jesus had not died on the cross. Let's talk about the difference between a crucifix and the plain cross. Catholics use the crucifix instead of a plain cross because the cross only has meaning because Jesus Christ died on it to save us. The crucifix is an important symbol used in many Catholic traditions. It is prominently used during Mass, which is a profound celebration in the Catholic faith. We can also see the crucifix used in Mass processions. It is often affixed to a staff and put on the center of the altar. Crucifixes are also featured during Holy Week. Aside from the church and public places, we can also see and use the crucifix in our daily lives. We put them in our homes and wear them as necklaces as a symbol of our faith and devotion. Pope Francis reminds us not to simply wear or use a crucifix to show our religious affiliation. It is so much more than that. We should look beyond the symbol and remember the meaning behind it, which is Christ's ultimate sacrifice on the cross for our salvation. We are not simply embracing the crucifix or the cross. We are embracing God as the King of our lives. When we accept God's sovereignty, we repent and acknowledge our sinfulness. But more importantly, we embrace the fact that Jesus died so that we may live for him. These are the things to keep in mind when we look at our Crucifix Shrine. For a question for you guys to kind of think about, how do you see the crucifix in your daily life? What meaning does it have to you? Now look at a simple cross. How do you use that in your spiritual lives? And what meaning does it have in your life?